What happens to debt when you die? Canada, are you free of debt? What happens to debt when you die? Canada, introduction. When discussions of debt come up, people often joke around and say they'll finally be free of debt when they die. But, is that true? Although we've written about this issue before, we thought this would be a good opportunity to update you. Does debt survive death? In this Brandon's blog I want to explore with you what happens to debt when you die. Canada. Can you bankrupt a dead person? Death of a debtor, Part 1. Death of a debtor, the indignity to bankrupt a deceased person. Part 2. Debt and death, don't let your debt haunt future generations. Death of a debtor, WHO's responsible for the debts? What happens to debt when you die? Canada, what happens to your assets when you die? All of your assets that are registered solely in your name make up your estate. Examples of such assets are bank accounts, cash, real estate, stocks, etc. Your estate will then go through a process called probate. Debts can be bequeathed as you've requested in your will. Your estate uses them to pay off your debts. An executor takes care of these things. Only after your debts are paid off will your heirs inherit anything. If there aren't enough assets in your estate to pay off your debts, any cosigner will be on the hook for the specific debts they co-signed on. If the estate is insolvent, then the executor would be forced to make application to the bankruptcy court for authority to assign the deceased's insolvent estate into bankruptcy. Yes, a dead person can become bankrupt, believe it or not. I have done several bankruptcies of deceased estates. What happens to debt when you die? Canada, what assets are safe from creditors? Typically retirement accounts and life insurance are safe from creditors. However, they are not safe if the deceased designated his or her estate as the beneficiary. What happens to debt when you die? Canada, what assets are not safe from creditors? Mortgages. Mortgages are secured debt, meaning that they're among the first to claim your assets to get paid. If someone inherited the home or they're a joint homeowner, then they're responsible for the mortgage. Car loan. A car loan, like a mortgage, is a secured debt, meaning that they're among the first to claim your assets that were pledged as security for the loan, to get paid. If the estate can't pay off the debt and you have a cosigner, they will be responsible for the car loan. If the loan isn't repaid by the estate or the cosigner, if there is one, the car will likely be repossessed. When the lender sells the vehicle, if the net proceeds, net of all recovery and enforcement costs, yields insufficient funds to pay off the loan, then the estate, and cosigner, are responsible for this shortfall. Credit card debt. Credit card debt, unlike a mortgage or a car loan, isn't secured. This means that if the estate can't pay back the credit card debt, the creditors are out of luck. However, if there is a joint account holder, then they're responsible to pay back the debt. What happens to debt when you die? Canada, what happens if your executor is faced with too much debt in your estate? Don't pass on debt to anyone else after your death. It's important to deal with debt while you're alive. Give us a call today. The Ira Smith Trustee and Receiver Incorporated team can help you get rid of debt starting now. We understand the pain you are in because of too much debt. We also know how to end your pain. Don't pass that pain on to your loved ones. You don't have to wonder what happens to debt when you die in Canada. Contact us today so we can begin healing you to lead a stress-free life. Being debt-free will give you the peace of mind that all is in order and that you're not burdening your heirs with financial hardship.